Alright, so here we go. Welcome to Blue Chip Prospect once again, and let's start with the scouting report for the 22-23 season. As I did last year, I will go through some of their stats and how they compare to different players from other seasons. I will talk about my favorite aspect of their game and explain what's separating them from other prospects in the hockey world. I will try to find stylistically comparable player and tell you where do they fit in this draft on my board. I usually try to get a minimum of 6 to 10 viewings on a certain player and spread those viewings throughout the whole season to have a good overall picture of the player's skills and the progression throughout the whole season. So my issue with releasing scouting reports this early in the season is that I'm missing some valuable information about the progression. So for that, I'll start with players that I'm fairly certain of the player they have become, and possibly will come back on them if anything changes. So today, let's start with Mr. Will Smith from the U.S. National Development Program. Smith is an American player. He's 17 years old and will not turn 18 until March. He's 6 foot and 172 pounds according to Elite Prospect, but according to the USDP, he's actually 182, 183 pounds. He plays center and he also projects in a center and he shoots right. The consensus, if I go down a little bit, the consensus is that he will be picked around 10th overall, but in my opinion, this will get much closer to 5 as scouting services starts following the hype. If we take a look at his stats and we come down here, we can say that he played 32 games for 59 points and 22 goals, which puts him first on the team for point per game, with Perrault being very close second with 0.01 difference. Now, where it gets interesting, it's when you take a look at his production and you compare him to everyone who played in the national program before him. Obviously, stats aren't everything, not even close, but they're a huge part of the equation. So here we can see that he's second behind Jack Hughes in all time if we sort by point per game. In my opinion, it's a pretty good indication of just how good he has been this season. Smith is not perfect. He does have some flaws and not everything he does is transferable to the NHL, but he's still second on that list before players like Clayton Keller and Logan Cooley. So in my book, that's very positive, especially when you take into account the quality of the team and the fact that Jack Hughes played with one of the most prolific goal scorers to ever play for the USDP. Some will say that he's not actually second in point per game, as Matthews had a better season in his draft -1, but we're talking about Matthews here. Nobody expects Smith to become a Matthew type player. Now, if we take a look at his strength and weaknesses rating, we can see that he has all the tools to be a very productive player at the NHL level. While I don't believe his skating to be his strength, I also don't see it as an issue. He's agile enough and pretty good on his edges, but lacks separation, speed, and explosiveness to be an above-average NHL skater. His major strengths come from the combination of hockey sense, playmaking, and puck skills. He's a really high-end stick handler. He understands the game at a very high level offensively and defensively, which combined makes him one of the best creators in this draft. Pair that with an accurate shot and a willingness to shoot the puck, he has one of the best toolkit in his draft. His individual skills are just off the chart. Now, let's roll the clips. So like I previously said, his playmaking is a combination of his IQ, his stick handling, and his vision. So in this part of the video, I'm going to combine all of it at the same time. One of the things that I really like about him is his awareness. His awareness is elite. It's like he creates a map of where every teammates are and where every opponents are at all time, and he just knows where to go and what to fake to open up lanes to send it tape to tape on his teammate's stick. Sometimes he'll move around the eyes to create space and confusion, and sometimes he uses his stick and link to put the puck in and out of your reach to have you put your stick one way while he's already gone the other way. He's capable of passing the puck through sticks and pads, but it's not where he shines. He really shines through his manipulation of the defense, which in some way is good for his NHL projectability. Manipulating NHL defensemen is doable. Trying to sauce the puck to traffic every single time is not very projectable, so it's a good thing. I think that he can become a major threat on the power play or once a team has established itself in the offensive zone, because he's a dual threat where defense and goalies have to adapt and respect his shot from mid-range. He's not only going to pass it, he's sometimes going to shoot it also. Because of his lack of separation speed, he might struggle to create off the rush. But if he learns to use his teammate more consistently and use give and goes through the neutral zone to gain the offensive zone, then he'll probably find a way to wire the puck to somebody's tape in the slot. Sometimes he tries to do too much, like it's a one-man show. It might work against USHL players or even NCAA players, but at the NHL level, this won't work. It's something he'll need to work on to play on a team's top 6 and become a more consistent threat. Now, let's take a look at his goal scoring ability. Something that I really like about Smith is that he's not a perimeter player. He's willing to attack the middle every game. Even if he could sometimes score from the outside, he understands that his chances are multiplied tenfold if he gets the puck to the inside. It's a good habit to have. If you always play the perimeter in junior, chances are you'll play the perimeter in the NHL and your success rate will plummet significantly. I also really like the way he uses stick handling to create space and delays for his shot. That is a very transferable skill. In general, his shot is very transferable. For example, if someone has a very heavy and accurate shot but has a slow release or doesn't have multiple release points or delays, this shot will most likely not find success in the NHL. Defensemen will just put their stick on your release point and the puck will be deflected every single time. On the other hand, if you can shoot the puck while in stride or off of both foot, or you can change the angle or delaying the release while keeping your accuracy, this shot will most likely find more success in the NHL even if it's less powerful. Smith is much closer to that second player than the first one. His shot is not a rocket, but it's accurate, deceptive, and quickly released. So, to put it all together, Smith is first and foremost a playmaker who happens to have a good shot and a willingness to shoot it from the inside. While not an explosive skater, he's very creative and have some of the best hands in this draft. On his best day, he'll hunt you down, strip the puck from you, and make a play you never saw coming, but on his worst days, he'll try to do it all himself and completely forget that using his teammate to reposition is a much more efficient play than trying to then go through the whole team by himself, probably unsuccessfully. So, as an NHL player comparable, Smith makes me think a little bit of Elias Lindholm when I was watching him in his draft year. Lindholm was a better skater or is a better skater, but the toolkit is similar. I'm not saying Smith is going to be a 40 goal point per game player, but the toolkit is Lindholm light. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the first scouting report of the year. Please subscribe if you did enjoy it. It would go a long way to help me get these videos to more people. As always, thanks for watching. If there's a player you'd like me to do a report on, please let me know in the comment. Thank you. Peace out.